Hey, it's Dave. Welcome back to, guess we'll call this one number 5 of pH meter shootouts. But today's not really a shootout, and I think you'll see why. So as you know, in the past, we tasted, because we eat these things. You're supposed to put the pH meter in your mouth. Anyway, we tested the AC Infinity, and I've been using this religiously. The AC Infinity $49 meter with kit and all that. And what's interesting is this is what this guy looks like. He was in other videos I've had. And I always wondered who was the OEM. So this came in the mail. This is the Apera. And the box just goes over that. I'll give you guys a good lookie of what the box looks like. Side of box, back of box, side of box. We don't care about box. But what's more interesting, if you haven't noticed, these look a little similar. Like they're the exact same dimensions. So with that being said, I'm gonna put this box over here. Unboxing and test. So it says Apera Instruments. You can see that here. But when I open this box, I think you're gonna notice, move all this out of the way for a second. We got some, quite a few similarities here. Let me put this one back in. It's got the KCL all over it. Yeah, those look kind of similar. So what I think's happening, this isn't a bad thing, and the reason why I don't think it's a bad thing is the prices are about the same. But it looks like what we have here is, it looks like our folks, friends at AC Infinity, who I like, they have basically OEM the Apera meter, because these are basically the same. That's apples for apples. So I'll get the Apera meter out. It's got this cord here, although I'm not going to put that out right away. And it has their instructions on how to calibrate. I guess, you know what, I could calibrate using their solutions just so they can't come back and say, you didn't use our solution. Shake it up, baby. Okay, so I shake these up, and then I take my Apera. Oh, guys, this is big, this is huge. Look, I haven't even opened it yet. Can you see that? Apera ships their meter with KCL solution already in it. Oh, boy, Apera, man. This is my first Apera meter, by the way, and so far, unboxing, I'm super impressed. They even give you, look at this. They even give you where to fill up the KCL solution and the instructions on the back. And I don't know his name. I call him the weed guy. Probably hates me for it. I apologize, but I have nothing but love for you, bro. When you have a pH meter, if you store the cap, the probe, if it's dry, when you store it, it's gonna die. But if you store it wet, you are all set. And this came to me in the mail wet. Okay, so in order for the battery not die, they have I remember this, I gotta lift up the little tab. Yep, and then it'll come off. So you gotta take the top off, and then they have a little thing in here that I guess makes the battery, not do its thing. So you take out their little things, and now the battery should come on. That's nice. And another nice touch, AC Infinity had this. These looks like 4 AA batteries, so we don't have to deal with the wacky batteries. I wonder if there's they got a little plastic shield cover on that, so it's harder to read, but I know why they do it. It doesn't get scratched. So I power it on, and it comes on, and let's take the AC Infinity one off too. AC Infinity does have I never know that. They have instructions, but since their cap is not clear, you can't easily see that. Oh, I do need to wash. I got so much KCL all over this thing. I gotta wash it off because there's salt water all over the place there. All right, so he's clean. Let me turn them both on and turn them both off at the same time, because I want you to see these are the same meter. All right, so when I turn them on, what you're going to notice is the startup screen is exactly the same on both of these. So see if I can do these simultaneously. See if that worked. Yeah, they both start with the R whatever. And like I said, these are the same meters. And I bet you, I'm not going to do it, but I bet you the probes, yeah, the probes are identical. So I'm going to highlight both of these. This is the front. This is the rears, sides, probes, top. This is the same meter. All AC Infinity did was and I'm going to say it, I think they OEM'd a really good meter. They didn't pick a crap meter. They picked a really good, solid meter in Apera, and they said, we're going to OEM that. So, moving that aside, boy, they're both like the same. I just love that. All right, so I do gotta pause the video. Apologies, I gotta let it soak for like 20 minutes minimum. I've learned these things work a lot better if they get a pre-soak before we get into the solutions. When we come back, we're gonna calibrate, and just for fun, I'm gonna calibrate both of them, one then the other. We'll do Apera first, then AC Infinity, and then after we do the calibrations, we'll test some stuff just to see, you know, they should be exactly the same. I mean, physically they are, but reading should be the same. So anyway, I will be back in a minute. That's just wonderful. I want the gimbal to follow me. It doesn't follow me. Okay, maybe it's gonna follow me now. Okay, action. Okay, I'm back. Both AC Infinity and Apera have been soaking now for a good 15-20 minutes. I wrote up on my board over here. They're confirmed. This one is OEM for the other, and I believe Apera is the instrument company. AC Infinity just OEM'd a good instrument. Apera's model number is AI209 at $49 on Amazon, and AC Infinity over here, they're calling theirs the AC-PHM3, also at $49. So I'm going to calibrate with these two. These are actually the Apera solutions, except for the 10. I had to use the Acme Analytical for the 10 because I just didn't have that. But the other two I have from Apera, the actual official company. And it's nice, they give you calibration instructions, which are pretty straightforward. You take the probe, turn it on, you dunk it in the solution you want to dunk it in, and then you press the cal button and hold it, and then it'll tell you, it knows what solution it's in. We start with 7, of course, like everything else. And then, yeah, and then once that's done, once it does its little run through calibrate, it gives you like the smiley face, I guess. First one, you start, hold long press, calibration mode. Yep, when you get the smiley face that stays on, you short press cal again to finish the calibration. So you have to finish for each step. So turn it on, put it in the 7. Long press the cal button, which is the bottom of the two buttons. Let me show you. The bottom of the two buttons is the cal button. So we long press him. After we long press him, it'll do its flashies and whatever, and then it will smiley face, and then we hit the cal button, just briefly short click it a second time. Yeah, and they say make sure you got the smiley face or you're gonna upset the meter. So let's get to it. Let's calibrate first. Now I wanted to point out something nice. I normally use these sample jars, but AC Infinity Apera is nice enough. They give you these longer, skinnier ones. Why does that matter? Why would I mention that on my video? You use a lot less solution doing this, and then the probe fits perfectly in there than wasting that. So it definitely cuts down on your amount of stuff you have. Now they are calling out distilled water. I want you to know this is my tap water, and from my other video I had, this is my distilled water. So I make my own distilled water, and we are following their instructions to the T, and we are in distilled water. So out of the gate, comes on, gives me the R10. I'm gonna stick it in here, and just like before, it's gonna give me the 7.2 is what it thinks it is. Let me show this. I might be able to do this together. And then, oh, there goes my glasses. Okay, that's fine. And then I'm gonna long press the Cal button. Let me see if it says, yep, now it says Cal, so now it's gonna do its thing. I gotta watch it because I've never done it. I don't wanna mess this up on this meter. I got a smiley face, and I hit the Cal, and then it blinks a few times. It's blinking a few times. I guess it's saving the 7.0. And it looks like we are now, I got another smiley face. Looks like I'm calibrated for that. So, tap water first to get off the excess. And I think I'm just gonna repeat these steps for the second one. So take this guy out, our AC Infinity. Turn him on. Put him in the 7. That's weird. He's reading the 7 as 14. I don't understand that. We're gonna hit the Cal button. He's in Cal mode now. I'm gonna watch it as it goes. Really weird. It's saying 14 is my pH, but it's flashing 7. I do not understand that. All right, it gave me the smiley face, but it's still flashing 7, but it's reading 14. That makes no sense to me. Yeah, but now it gave me an error message. That's even weirder. All right, so let's wash him off. Let's turn him off. I think he's angry. This was working literally earlier today. Hey, I'm back. What can I say? This is another pH meter shootout that just didn't go the way I wanted it to. And I'll just break it down for you. So the Apera, no problem. Calibrated, everything's wonderful. Calibrated the 7, which was 7.1, and then the 4 and the 10, perfect. No issues, no problems. Mr. Apera, I'm going to say he won today's shootout, even though they're the same meter. And I'll tell you why he won today's shootout, even though they're the same meter. As you can see from over here on my board, one is just an OEM for the other. Although the instruction manual, interesting enough, doesn't call the AC Infinity PHM. I think it just calls it PH20 or something. So I don't even know what part number. I went off what I purchased and what that said. The manual reads a little different, but it's not the end of the world. With that being the case, let me show you what happened, and it's really kind of disappointing that this actually happened. So while I was trying to calibrate the AC Infinity, I noticed when I turned it on, it was kind of weird. It just went right to 14. And it didn't do that in the past. And I bought this on May 9th. I went and checked. And if I stick this in any solution, it's stuck on 14. It won't budge, which has been flawless. I'm going to say maybe it was off by 0.1 or 0.2 at the most. Calibrated, it would go back. This was not stored outside. This came inside the house after every use. So stored in a nice climate-controlled environment. But I know this solution's 10. No matter what I do, it won't budge off of 14. Now, there's a way to factory reset these, and I'm going to show you that right now. And to factory reset these, you turn it off. and a long press to turn it off. And then you turn it back on by holding it, and it goes to the gobbledygook menu. And then after you do the gobbledygook the menu, you have here it says P1 USA, which is not what we want. We don't need to set the calibration standard. And then I press the button once, and then I get P2. This is how you change between Fahrenheit and Celsius. And how it works is you get 3 menus: P1, P2, P3, right? P1. The 2 taps, I guess, brings me between them. So there's, all right, oh boy, fussy fingers. Oh gosh, I can't do it right. All right, so here I am on P1, and this is my USA setting, right? I'll try not to get too much glare. And then I think I double press this, and this takes me to where I went past it. So now I'm on P2, and on P2 I can press the bottom button, and I hit the bottom button, and it's going to start flashing. That means I'm in change something mode. See how the F is flashing? And now I can go back to the top button, and it's in C. How it went to Celsius. I press the button again, and now it drops back down to F. And then when I'm done calibrating or changing, I hit the C button again. It stops flashing. Now, factory reset is P3. Look this up in the book. Look this up online. All right, so P3. Do I want a factory reset? No. And I go ahead here and I press the bottom button, and I'm going to flash. Eventually I'm going to flash. Oh boy. Come on. Hop in these. Okay, so now I'm flashing by pressing the bottom button. No to factory reset. Press the top button. Now yes to factory reset. Now I want to lock it in. I press the bottom button. It'll stop flashing. Now it should be doing its factory reset. This is really kind of counterintuitive, because it doesn't tell you what it's doing or anything like that. It just says, yes, it's going to factory reset. When, how, is it doing it right now? I have no idea. But that's just how this goes. So the best I could do is go to the next page. Maybe that's why it takes a minute here sometimes, because it's trying to do my factory reset. Okay, now I'm back to USA. And now I believe I can just power him off. And boom, right back to 14. So this AC Infinity meter that has been great, has been flawless. Next to my Hannah, this was my number 2. In fact, I was going to rate this as the best meter under 50 bucks, under 100 bucks. I mean, I really dug this thing. And yeah, I always store it in the KCL. I don't miss on my KCL because I don't want meters to go bad. This was my number 1 charmer, man. This thing was rocking. And now it's an RMA, which is not cool. No, not at all. Because I'm trying to figure out, for people at home that don't want to go the $250 Hannah route, how do we get them to have a reasonable, affordable pH meter? Yeah, you drop $250, you're going to get yourself a Hannah, and it acts normal, behaves normal, everything normal, no problem with Hannah. Don't need to calibrate it every day, week. It holds for a long time. No issues there, right? But do you really want to have to drop $250 for this guy? I mean, it's just a lot. But what we found out today is I have a meter that was my number 1 meter after the $250 Hannah, and now that just crapped out. May 9th, May, June, July, August. So 90 days. Hey, I spent $99 on the Blue Lab, thinking this would be the best, because Hucho was all about this. And I got to admit, Blue Lab's truncheon stick is probably the best EC you're going to get. And I don't think those go bad. But as for pH meters, this is kind of what I've been getting at. And that's why I'm doing these shootouts. It's like anything short of a $250 meter. I know that's nuts. Anything, but from my experience, anything less than one of these professional meters, it's either needs to be calibrated all the time, it doesn't stay calibrated, which I guess feeds into number 1, needs to be calibrated all the time, or it's wildly inaccurate, or doesn't like to settle on a number. Or in my situation, breaks 90 days or less. 90 days or less. 90 days or less. Where is it? 90 days or less. RMA's, you know, going like crazy out of here. I'm storing them inside. I'm cleaning them. I'm storing them in KCL. I mean, good gosh. What else is someone to do? And I can't help but think a lot of people that have tried to do hydro that have failed, or their crops have issues and all that. How many of those people out there that think they're doing something wrong have a cheap pH meter that's either reading inaccurate, breaks, and all this leads to either crop failure or things just aren't growing as well. You go to YouTube and you watch James's channel, and all his stuff's beautiful, although he had blight this summer. But normally, his stuff, Hoocher stuff, it's beautiful, beautiful. You watch him go, and then you try to do it at home, and it's like nowhere near there. Well, if your pH is wildly off, that could be an issue. If you're using the dirt cheap, I don't know where I put them. They're already in the box for the RMA. You're using the dirt cheap EC, and that's wildly off. So, you know, I'm kind of starting to feel like if someone came to me right now and they said, I want to do hydro and I don't want to ever make mistakes with the water solution. I want to get it right. I'm going to follow Weed Guy's formula of how to mix. Fine, we got all that. But then you got to monitor that stuff. How do I make sure, Dave, how do I make sure my monitoring is my water spot on? I got the right EC, I got the right pH. Right now, today, from my experience, and I'm not saying this is right, but just right now today, the only answer I could truthfully give would be, you got to drop 100 on this. Oh, it's probably on my carpeted floor, so it's not hurt. You got to spend 100 on your truncheon, and then you got to drop 250 on your Hannah. Any of these other solutions that are out there, I mean, good gosh, man. You know, and hey, look, I'm fine. If it's 250, I'm okay with it. What I don't like is the false impression, and that's what I feel is happening. People are getting this false impression. They can go do hydro, they can get these dirt cheap meters, and they'll be able to measure everything. No, you're not going to be able to measure stuff accurately, and your gear, your kit is going to have like issues where you're going to be returning stuff all the time. And it just makes me beg the question, does hydro not need to be that accurate? My peas died. Now granted, that pH was off by more than a point, but they died. The only ones that died, but they died. So if hydro doesn't need to be that accurate, fine. Everybody go get your $4 meter. And then when they die, just buy one every 2 months. Just Amazon does the subscribe. Just subscribe to this and make sure they send you a new one. They're $4. Get a new one every 60 days. Just throw the old one in a bucket, right? Maybe that's what you got to do. And it doesn't matter if it's off by a point. Hydro isn't that sensitive. But if I'm wrong about that, and hydro, you can't be off by a point and expect everything to be copacetic, you don't really have a lot of options. That's how I kind of feel. I kind of feel defeated today. Anyway, I'd love to hear people's comments. I can't be the only person that's struggling with these pH meters, or maybe I am, and it's all me whacked out, and I'll accept that. That could be, but I find it really hard to believe that trying to get a pH meter for under $100 that doesn't die, reasonably stays calibrated, and is reasonably accurate is this hard to do. And I gotta say, every time this stuff happens, thank you, Hannah, the meter of truth, and everything else before you, meters of wackiness, meters of wackiness. I mean, we're just trying to grow some plants on water here. I'm not trying to make heavy water or do some really complicated stuff. Not even trying to, gosh, think about the guys that make their own yeast and stuff, and that needs to be more accurate, I've read. What do? I know for plants, the cheapies are, you know, this one's good, right? Today, this Apera won. Oh, by the way, so Shootout, winner. winner. Apera won today's shootout, but the real bigger question is here, is it even worth doing this series? Like, maybe I should just say, hey, look, I did a whole bunch of testing, and until you drop 250 on a Hannah or like, doesn't have to be that one, but until you get a higher quality meter, you're never really going to know your pH, and it's going to die in 90 days anyway. I don't know. You know, maybe these shootouts are a waste of time, and it's buy a professional one or don't do it. Hey, look, Hucho, he can grow. He knows his stuff. He's wicked smart with this. Hucho used this, the Hucho stick, and I probably should just call this the Hucho meter, because he busts this out in his videos, and he grows a lot, and he's like a professional gardener. And these are his tools. There's a reason why Hucho doesn't have this. Hucho, I don't think he uses this, or maybe he does infrequently. I don't know. I'd love to hear from some people of why. What am I? My fourth failed pH meter, 3 of which were bought brand new. What is that? And maybe I'm doing it. Maybe it's all my fault. What am I doing? Somebody ask me a question. Get in my comments. See if we can resolve this. I want to know, like, why I'm having such a hard time. And this is where I think ignorance is bliss, because other people that just don't know or don't care or don't check their gear, they just don't know. And to them, they think everything's fine. It's really not, but they just assume something else happened when the plant dies. It wasn't the pH because the meter said okay. I don't buy that. But anyway, I'm pissed. If you haven't noticed. I'm angry. But I'll solve this. I always solve. It's just how much frustration and crap I have to go through before I get to the answer, the bottom, if you will, of it. So anyway, this is today's shootout. Apera won. AC Infinity is going to get an RMA. But boy, now it's past 30 days, so I got to call them. Lovely. I've already got 1 meter from Blue Lab coming in the mail. Now, how many meters am I going to have in the mail here as RMA replacements? Anyway, I'm trying not to be angry. I will try to get to my Zen moment. I'm going to eat some yogurt. I'm going to make myself a shamrock shake. Milkshake, that is. I have to make it at home because it's not March. And I'm going to chill out. I'm going to watch a little TV. Sorry this video didn't go the way you wanted to. Sorry I got all angry. I don't mean to freak anyone out. I'm just frustrating. You know, it's frustrating. But as always, thanks for watching. I really praise anyone that can give me a comment or tip their hat to what might be going wrong. What am I doing to ruin these meters, if I'm doing anything at all? Yeah, so thanks for watching. Subscribes, likes. Please, somebody throw me a comment. Try to point me in the right direction of where I got to look next to what's going on to solve this. And hope your day's going better than mine. I don't think that's a stretch. But yeah, I hope your day's going better than mine. I hope your week is too. I'm going to be getting on the phone and the email and whatnot, getting these things sent back. Thank you much for watching. Thank you very much for tuning in. This is Dave saying, I'm angry. I'm not going to be defeated. I'm going to dig in deeper and solve this, and I am out.